Hello there folks and welcome to part 11 of our Ashes Cricket 2009 playthrough, and today it is time to continue with the England first innings in the second test match here at Lord's in the Ashes series, and it's not even took 30 seconds this time and the controller is disconnected. Great start, but at this point we stopped with 12 overs in at 71 for 3, and now 16 overs later, that's the bowling scorecard, Toby. 16 overs later we are 121 for 4, meaning that we do surpass that meagre Australian total of 120. Now, obviously, since you've last been with me then, Ian Bell has lost his wicket for 34 off 56. Started to get going a little bit, but unlike that brilliant century he had in the last match, he just didn't really get it going that much. But on more positive views, Paul Collingwood is near his 50, and Flintoff has just entered the crease, 6 off 23. We lead by 1 run, and as we come back today, we are coming out just after tea. It looks very murky out there, very overcast, so we might be coming in at some point for some rain delays, possibly, but hoping to play about 15 overs today. Depends on the amount of wickets, no balls, all that sort of stuff. And interestingly, straight off the mark, we are facing some off-spin. Now, you might think it's confusing that there's a video out on Sunday. This is usually a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday series, and that will all be cleared up on an update video, which I hope to get out tomorrow. I'm not confirmed to get that out tomorrow. It's not a confirmed thing because I am recording this on Friday evening. I have got company this weekend, hence why I'm getting ahead with all my content for this weekend. So it'll be sometime next week, but I can imagine on Monday, just to explain why this has come out on Sunday, and also to confirm the running schedule for the channel, which I know has changed over the last few weeks, but I have got a schedule in mind, which will be confirmed on that channel update. And I haven't fully decided what that is yet, hence why I'm not going to tell you today, just so I don't get you confused with telling you several things and several pieces of information that you guys might get confused between. So that channel update, whatever we say there, will go as gospel. But now we get back into the test match. Nathan Hauritz bowls a ball. That was a decent shot by Collingwood, and we're going to get him off the mark for this episode. Three dot balls so far. And Flintoff the man now at the crease. And this video, I know it's been recording a little bit early, so we can't preempt what's going to happen in the next few days. But that's very nearly a get back, for goodness sake. Whew, dear. Now, I can't preempt what's going to happen in the next few days in real life, but it looks like Australia have got the Ashes wrapped up. I don't accept all this silly, particularly a BBC article that said today, it's Friday evening, so in the context, too late, 2 days before you're watching this, at least England's had that terrible sort of 67-60. I think it was 67 we were all bowled out for, which was our second lowest Ashes total headingly since 1940, which is, yeah, pretty dreadful. But we'll try and hit that one. That's a nice shot from Paul Collingwood. Should be at least 2. If it goes to the boundary, it'll bring up his 50. And we will go for those 3. It's going to be tight. It is going to be tight. What's it going to be? Yes, we get there. And is that Collingwood's 50? It is. Collingwood reaches his 50. A good mark to get to. Lost 4 wickets. Not really what we wanted to be at this point. But Collingwood and Ian Bell, to be fair. Ian Bell have steadied the ship. And as you can see, a lot of that played to the leg side. But in real life, we just had that awful 67. And it's a little bit remiss of this match, really. Because effectively what we've got here, that's another great shot from Flintoff. Finally getting into the groove of things a little bit now. What we've got here is effectively Australia getting a low total and us getting fairly low total. Okay, we've got a bit of a partnership bid, but it's not too drastic a comparison to make between these two matches. We probably, England being, basically the roles being reversed here. And there's just a huge problem with the England batting line. Oh, that's a great shot. That'll go straight to the boundary. Some real nice depth to that shot and real nice speed and power, and that gets to the boundary. So we're finally getting the run rate up a little bit from some poor Australian bowling, I think it's fair to say, leaving that leg side nice and open. But no, absolutely terrible. We've batted quite well, to be fair. Well, in some aspects, like Ben Stokes' century at Lord's, you know, there's some real highlights this series. But one highlight that just hasn't been there is Jason Roy's batting to any extent. He is so tempted whenever anything goes to the offside just to have a go at it, just to have a niggle, and he can't stop himself. And of course, the Aussies exploit that. Would have been Mitchell Johnson back in this day. It's the likes of Josh Hazlewood, Pattinson now, and Cummins. And they just exploit that, and that's the problem. And that's a great shot, by the way, from Flintoff, I think, again. That should be another boundary. But that is the problem with having Jason Roy at an opener. If you're going to be an opener, you have to defend. And that's what I like about Rory Burns, because Rory Burns, he has a go. He has a go. He takes chances when they're there, but against any Australia side, particularly the 2019 Australia side, those chances are a little bit scarce. So Rory Burns gets the singles, gets the shots when he can, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. Drinks after 2 overs? Really? Well, must be very thirsty, but anyway. Yeah, Jason Roy has to be dropped lower down the field. And I think to answer who's going to come in as an opener, I think that either Jack Leach or Chris Wokes. I don't see why Leach can't be given a chance. He's going to be as good as anybody else. He played well against Ireland. I know he went out for a low score today, but so did everybody else, so you can't really blame that on him so much. And he was coming in as the blast batsman. So I think if I give him a try, or Chris Wokes, I mean, why not? We can't have Root opening. Root's just not a 2 or a 3, to be honest. Root needs to come in at 4, although for a man of his class, that shouldn't really matter where he's coming in my opinion, because he can't seem to buy a run at the moment. But yeah, keep Ben Stokes where he is, Johnny Bairstow, Josh Butler. There's not many changes needed in my opinion, because at the end of the day, where'd you get the players from? It's this age-old battle with England that, looking back to 2009, we had a really solid squad, some names that had been there for years, a mix of young talent and old stalwarts in this squad, and even new names like Jonathan Trott, and those sort of names coming into the squad. But in 2019, the new talent is scarce, apart from, it seems, Jofra Archer's done really well. Rory Burns, I think, has proved himself to be a battler, as I said earlier. He's a decent opener. I think the best we've gotten. Well, it's not really much of an accolade at the moment, but he's had some good innings and showed some potential. But Joe Denley doesn't really do much for me. Joe Root's not performing well. Really, we've got 5 out of 7 batsmen, I'd say, in the top 7 that are capable of getting 50s every match. But at the moment, they're just not getting it. And it's a little bit like the openers in this game, really. Strauss and Cook in their 3 innings so far just have not done a single thing. Strauss, no, it was Cook, wasn't it, who got off to a half-decent start, but just never seemed to prove himself in this match, in that innings he's just played. But that was a good shot, but just comes straight off the leg, so that prevents it going any further. Then back to Mitchell Johnson. But in terms of changes, I think that I don't think this test match is all over. I'm talking about real life, don't worry, not this one. I don't think it's all over at this point. It will be all over probably by the time that you guys are watching this. At the end of the day, I don't think it's going to go much further than 4 days, based off the first 2 innings being all over by the end of the second day, and Australia losing 6 wickets. But yeah, it'd be interesting when it is over. I think Australia will win it, but I don't think it's all over yet. I still like to see something from England, a bit of a battle to see if they can try and win the match. But that's all really about the 2019 Ashes. I don't like to talk too much about that. I will drop a few things in here maybe if I can think of them whilst we play, but now we will focus a lot on this match. Been playing decently, to be fair, but I've been nattering about that. Got some boundaries, got some runs where we can, and just got these batsmen ticking. At the end of the day, Bell and Collingwood had a good partnership. A little bit of a shame that Bell had to get out, but Collingwood's on his 50. We know Flintoff's a good aggressive batsman that takes chances, and we've got all the time in the world here, really. It's the end of day 1, last session of day 1, and what that means, of course, we've got plenty of time to build up a big total, and what I want to aim to do, if we can, is to get Australia back in, say get 400 odd, get Australia back in and bowl them out and win by an innings. That would be the dream, but at least I think from this position it would be great to get Australia in, them have a meagre lead for our last innings and then win the match nice and comfortably. Of course, that's the aim. It sometimes doesn't happen like that, but we should be able to build up a good lead, certainly based off how Collingwood and Flintoff are batting at the moment. That's a little bit of a tricky one. I think we will just do... Oh, that's hit the batsman. It's hit the batsman. I was just about to say, these kind of batsmen don't usually get out. Now, it's all about determining whether that would swing back in. If it swung back in, it would be out, but it hit the boot. Or the train, or whatever you like. No, it's the boot, of course. But they're judging that just to have gone straight on from there, not swung back in. So Hawkeye deems it not out. Tricky shot to try and face there, that was. Good ball from Nathan Hauritz, which is one of the 2 changes from the Aussies for this test. That's a nice shot, just down the ground. There is a fielder there, so we will get away with 2. It's going to be tight here, actually. I didn't realise how quite tight it is, but we do get away with 2. Nice running from the 2 batsmen there. But Nathan Hauritz and Marcus North, 2 spinners now, not just the one. I think that's crucial. They can give North and Hauritz both a bit of a run out. That's come a lot more over to the other side than I think I was planning for, but still we hit a nice reverse swing shot another 2 runs here. And as I said, Horwitz is bowling well, but we're just taking a few more chances, a few more liberties. Might not come in our favour at one point, but you've just got to take those chances when they come. So 23 runs in the lead. We've surpassed the amount of overs that Australia did. Australia did 31, I believe, to get their 120. A good partnership from Marcus North and what's the other chap's name? Ben Helfenhaus had a really good partnership. Remember, Australia was 63 for 9, which, why I say this match draws so many parallels with the one that's happening in real life at the moment. That's another good shot from, I think it's Flintoff on strike. I might be wrong. I don't actually know who is on strike. I've lost count of that. No, it was Collingwood on strike. So we get to single there, back on strike for the next over, and just a bit of a spot check after that. 55 off 82 for Collingwood, so a solid score. And Flintoff starting to get going now, 20 off 36. So good stuff so far. Obviously, we are 1-0 down. Yeah, Australia going for 2 spinners now. That's interesting because, I mean, Horwitz bowled decently in the last over, as I said, but didn't offer a massive amount. We can still get some runs off him. So surprising that they are going with 2 spinners. But of course, it's late in the day. The ground maybe offers a bit more spin. It's not doing so much for the fast bowlers. To be fair, it doesn't seem to have done anything for anybody apart from Mitchell Johnson so far, because all Mitchell Johnson has done is get men out. He's took every single wicket so far. And a no ball there from North gives us another run, another extra. I had to laugh at the commentary on Sky today when they're on about the England innings, that Joe Denley got the most runs. Even extras couldn't beat him. But that's pretty embarrassing when you've got extras at 3 and, of course, a lot of the batsmen didn't even get past that. Joe Denley getting to 12. That's the highest of the day. Shocking, really. Good shot. And we might as well go for a run there. It's a no ball, so we get another run free of charge. Good stuff. But the alarming thing is, it's an interesting stat that England have had 4 sub-100 performances in the last year. Which is probably more than they've had for a long while. It's not great. And of course, one of them was against Ireland. So, not great at all. But Marcus North coming the other way around the wicket now, which might work to our favour as we come onto the offside a little bit. Oh, that's a little bit poor, but it gets past the fielder. I fancied Loft in that one. That might actually work in our favour. We won't be trying too many more of them, but I thought, why not? We'll give it a go. I think we can get it past the infielder, however we time this. So we took the risk and it paid off to get a few runs there. But he's coming back now after that. He's not convinced that that worked. But bowling a good length, Marcus North. I mean, that's the sort of ball you want to bowl, because you don't want to attack that. Because if you get the timing wrong, you could either be out LBW or be clean bowled. So you have to restrict yourself a little bit off those shots. In a good field, to be fair, the one slips. So there, if you get an inside edge. And to be fair, on the leg side and the offside, there is a comfortable amount of fielders on each side, just to block any amounts of massive runs. But a single there to finish off the over. Flintoff gets back on strike for the next. And yeah, we're starting to do quite decently here in this innings. Again, we're just plodding along. We got plenty of time. Can't remember when we started. I think it was 28 overs we started at with. I think we've done 6 overs so far. That's right. Another no ball though from Horwitz. So we are getting a few runs based off that. And I don't mind increasing the lead slightly off those balls and not really having to make too much effort to get runs here. Interesting shot here. If this is going to go down leg side, we're going to play the reverse swing. Luckily, it did swing down there, else we'd got that completely wrong. But you just take the chance on that sort of shot sometimes. We're going to go for free here. No, we're not. We can't go for free based off that. We would have got there because it went to the wrong end. But sometimes it's just not worth taking the risk. So Flintoff at the crease, nicely increasing his score. Collingwood not done much really this episode so far. It's a good shot from Flintoff, but as I could see, straight to the fielder. Good speed as well from the spinner, 60 mile an hour, which for a spinner is pretty quick. But speed, of course, not what it's all about as a spinner. Ooh, that's a chance. LBW appeal. Not interested. Well, it was close to the bat. Did it not hit the... It might have not hit the pad. It might have not hit the pad. It might have just hit the bat. But looking at Hawkeye, and it was wide of off stump anyway. So we get away with that. So you can get away with a few things. But nearly getting the wicket there. I did think, ooh, our wicket might be in danger here. Thought that one was straight to the field. So a little bit hesitant to run. We'll take the 2 on here. Yep, we'll get 2 quite comfortably in the end, actually. I was worrying about getting for 2. But quite comfortable in the end. So a few more runs to add on. we can't really start putting on the style too much with two spinners because the fields are quite aggressive in terms of making sure that fielders are quite close in the infield. So you can't go for lofted shots for 4s and 6s. It's just taking the runs a little bit like this, trying to get it past the infield and trying some quick runs and get a couple. But they all add up, of course. They all count. We've now got a lead of 37 on the Aussies with 6 wickets to spare. This is a attempt just outside the off stump, isn't it? A little bit of a poor shot, but once again over the infield. And that'll be at least 2. Bit of a risk that was if it went to slip. But I know that Flintoff, even if he hits a poor shot like that one, most likely he's going to get it past the infield. So not much in the way of worry there. But after 35 overs, 159 for 4. Flintoff definitely got the brunt of the runs today so far. So they're probably interested in keeping him off strike and putting Collingwood back in. But it's a poison chalice if you do that. Collingwood can get runs himself. But that's straight to the fielder. You don't have to run off every ball. So a run rate of about 4.5. Not so quick as the last few test matches. The last few innings, not the last few test matches. We've only had 2 test matches. That wouldn't make any sense. But at the end of the day, we've lost 4 wickets. So we've just had to spend a few overs getting some batsmen into the crease, getting comfortable before starting to hit it round. So that's really why the run rate's a little bit low. But I hope in this episode we can probably get it up to, let's say, 5 and over perhaps. But there's no requirements to that. It doesn't really matter if we don't get to that. But that is another no ball. We've had at least 1 every over so far. So we'll get the 2 runs as custom and another run for free. So we won't complain about that one at all. I wonder how it works with balls faced when it's a no ball. I mean, it should still count as a ball for the batting team if you get a run off it. Oh, that's it, the batsman. That's it, Flintoff. Not interested though. I've had a few LBW appeals so far today of Australia. Need to be careful with that. But that's nowhere near. That was just silly. Why appeal for that? It was just going straight. So no, it had no chance. Had the pad quite a way outside the off stump really to be going for it there. What I was saying earlier though, if Flintoff gets 2 off, that surely it's got to be counted as a ball. Because then it goes on all the strike rate records. And technically it's a ball because you can't get 2 off a ball that doesn't exist. So I don't know how that works. You'll have to let me know down in the comments about that one. Just defend this. Again, there's not many opportunities now on the off stump because they're keeping that quite well guarded. And to be fair, the leg stump is as well. So you want it, if you want it less, you want to use the air. You're going to struggle at that one a little bit. I'm just going to play this one down the ground, see how we get on. Oh, we've done well actually there. I didn't quite think we'd get that away. But we have got it down the ground quite nicely. Looked like a little bit of an awkward shot, but we are going to go for free here. So Flintoff, unfortunately, is not going to be on strike again. Collingwood had the all over, I think, there from memory. No, was it Flintoff on strike? I keep getting mixed up with the players on strike. I wish it'd show you every ball, because obviously I keep getting mixed up between Flintoff and Collingwood. Obviously Collingwood's not getting a chance. We must have had a single earlier on in the over, and the strike must have changed hands, because he had 3 there, which means that Flintoff would retain the strike. That looks a little bit ominous, that ball does, so we'll just defend against that. But it's a no ball, so we get away with that. 1 more. As I say, we've bowled at least 1 no ball and over so far, which is a little bit poor, really. Per over this episode, anyway, that is. Oh, that's closer. Flintoff's gone. That was silly. That was very silly. We tried it a few times. We tried that a few times and got away with it. But this time we haven't. And just 1 too many. It was a little bit of a poorer ball. Hussey was in there. And we've lost another man. That was a little bit stupid to play with the wicket of Flintoff, because now we're into the tail enders. There's obviously a split. There's an obvious split of 6 batsmen and 5 bowlers in this squad. But we are going to go to effectively what is a White Knights Wattsman here. We're going to go for Graham Swan. Because I think Matt Pry's a good bat. I accept that. But I think if we lost the wicket of Matt Pry quickly here, that would be a real damage. So bringing Swanee in just allows Collingwood to have a bit of a bat and call on Swan when needed. But that was a little bit silly from us. I accept that. But you've just got to play with luck sometimes. And we didn't get the luck there. Bit of a poor shot. And the spinner gets his first wicket of the series. And someone different than Nathan Lyon gets a wicket. Straight to the fielder again, though. So Collingwood's got to carry this innings now because, okay, Swan and Pry might get some runs and even Broad, but, well, actually based off Anderson and Sidebottom's stand in the last match, they might actually get some runs. You never know, but that's a really good shot from Paul Collingwood. Really strong. We're going to go for 2 here. We should have just got for the 1 because then it would be Collingwood facing next over. But if we can get an odd number of runs here, probably a single, we will get him back in for the next over. Not that Graham Swan's incapable at all. I don't think that's the case. That's straight to the fielder though. Nothing we can do about that. We're not going to run silly runs. No, Graham Swan's not incapable, but I'd just rather have Collingwood there facing the larger amount of the ball. So Graham Swan is in to face his first ball of the day. Only 37 overs in. I think he'd be a little bit shocked with that. But we've moved up the order, of course. That's another no ball. Another no ball. It seems to be the first ball of the over. They just can't seem to get used to it. Very, very odd. So effectively, we're getting 7 balls and over. That is a tempter outside the off stump. A little bit of a poor shot there. We got away with not hitting the edge. I thought we might as well go for that. But no, they are using the tempter there. And now he comes back to the orthodox side. Again, that's a little bit going to leg. Might play this one just straight down the ground. A little bit poor again, though. Swan not got the best hitting technique. That's obvious. And we're going to struggle here. Just need to recuperate. As I said, losing another wicket could be a real problem. Nice defensive shot, though, there. As I said, Graham Swan, as a player, he's a good bat. He was a solid bat, really. He'd always get his fair share of runs. But here in this situation where we're looking for runs, it's one that we don't really want to risk him because he's not the best batsman to start playing aggressive shots. Collingwood, on the other hand, can do so. But this is a trusty partnership. I trust these two. And hopefully they can stay until the end of the episode. But still defending from Swanee. Okay. From Swanee. If it's a maiden over, it's a maiden over. You can't do much about that. But I'd much rather a maiden over than lose another man. That's an intriguing one there. We'll just play that one. That's a nice shot. Very nice considering the circumstance. It could have been awkward to play. But nevertheless, Swanee plays well. And the man on the screen there, Collingwood, comes back into the crease for the next over. 59 not out. Solid score. Would be brilliant if he got to his ton. That's a tempter, isn't it? Good shot. Collingwood very quick off the mark with his run there. Good running, and we'll get 2 here. Collingwood back on strike again. 2 runs off the start of the over. Still persisting with spin here. I don't blame them. They're not conceding that many runs. Probably 5 or 6 and over at most. They're conceding most of their bleeding runs off no balls. I was worried about that one a little bit there. Just seemed a little bit full, and if we attacked that and it went wrong, we could be clean ball. But another 2 from Collingwood here, purely because of that maiden over from Swanee. To keep the run rate up, we need to attack a little bit more this over. I know that it's not one-day cricket and run rate doesn't really matter that much, but just keeping a competitive run rate just keeps the innings ticking for me, I'd say. That was a good shot, but I don't think it carried to Marcus North there. We can have a quick look at this. It wasn't Marcus North, I don't think, actually. I think this was Horwitz. But no, it didn't carry. It just bounced, and yeah, it's Horwitz. I thought it was. Marcus North's got black hair. I think that's a bit more of a browner shade. That's not the best shot, though, there. Oh, okay. Fielder just completely oblivious to it, and he won't be happy with that. Fielder daydreaming there almost, and we'll get away with 2 runs where, really, that should have been a nice stop in the infield, and no runs conceded there. So a little bit sloppy from the Aussies. Not going to complain, though. He gets there this time, though. Oh, God, he makes sure he gets there this time. So 6 off the over so far. It's a good over. Can't complain about that. 8 and over has obviously helped to keep that 4 and over thing going. Oh, poor shot. Get back. Oh, that's good getting back there from Collingwood. But after 39, 176 of 5. Collingwood not really scored that many today. Swanee not off the mark yet. And unfortunately, he's going to have to play another over of Marcus North spin here. He's going to have a go at some point. As he does there, but straight to the field. They have got a very aggressive attack in terms of their fielder. Not surprising they want to exploit the wicket of Graham Swan. Maybe a little bit early to bring Swanee in, I'm not sure. Still think it's a decent idea, just to prop up Collingwood, but ultimately he's struggling to get off the mark here. Matt Pryor would have been a better choice, but I feel like his wicket could have gone quickly. It's a good shot, but again, they've just got a brilliant infield here. They've got Graham Swan caught everywhere unless he tries a loft shot, and if it goes awfully, there's men all round the infield to catch that sort of shot. That's a good shot. There we go. Graham Swan's off the mark now, ladies and gents. But it is just going to be the 2 here, unfortunately. So he stays on strike, but a very good shot. Proves Graham Swan is a decent batsman, knows his timing, etc. And finally off the mark is Graham Swan. Very full, though, he's bowling here, as he was last ball. But again, another good shot. Graham Swan seems to be getting his eye in a little bit here. We'll go for another 2. He might as well bat another ball this over. Of course, we went for the single there. So, Collingwood would need another single to get him back on strike for the next over. So we might as well have gone for the 2 there. But not such a good shot that time. 4 off the over from Graham Swan. Not too bad at all. And yeah, Collingwood back in. So just 3 overs left in this episode. We'll have done 15 overs then. 59 runs, I think, so far. We led by 1, didn't we? So, yeah, 59 runs in 12 overs. Not too bad. Run rate, not the best, but, again, still ticking over. Lost 1 wicket, which is a little bit of a shame. Wouldn't want to lose another one before the end of the episode. This would be the partnership we could do with keeping. It's a good shot with reverse swing, though. It would be a risk to go back for 2 here. It would need good fielding. Oh, that's close, but a little bit too extravagant there from the fielders, and Collingwood keeps his wicket quite easily. Playing with our luck a little bit here, I think. Poor shot and straight to the bowler. So 2 off the over so far. Collingwood not a million miles away from his 100. It'd be great for him to get there, but as I said, we're quite a way away from that yet, so we'll look at that nearest the time. We'll get away with another 2 here. Quite easily. Could have gone for 3 if we were being really aggressive. But just the 2. That means it's 4 off the over. That's what we're faced with, really. We haven't faced an over from a fast bowler today. Just spin. And that's a great shot from Collingwood. Not had many boundaries this episode, interestingly. It does seem that the outfield on this pitch generally is quite slow. And we'll go for 3 there, because there's only 1 run left. Sorry, 1 run. 1 ball left in the over. Put Graham Swan back on strike and try and get Collingwood on strike for this Marcus North over. Fielder quite sloppy there, which Horwitz won't be happy about. The team won't be happy about in general. Well, that's a great shot from Swanee. It's a no ball, and we'll go for 2 there. So we get a few free runs, and great stuff, really. We quite literally do get 3 runs off the over with Graham Swan's input, and he's got another chance here to add to that. So a very expensive over from the Aussies. Knew straight where that was going. But it's just going to be a single, unfortunately. We don't want to play with too much fire here, so Graham Swan back on strike. And we don't want to risk too much, but we did get the 1 run. So Swan, 7 off 15. He's getting off the mark here and doing half decently. Starting to help Collingwood out, getting a few runs where just giving Collingwood a little bit of a break, which is nice. And again, another good shot. It seems he is getting comfortable in the crease now, which is great. And hopefully with these 2, Collingwood will get to his 100. Who knows, Swan might get to his 100, but that is a long way away yet. That's a great shot from Graham Swan, sorry. But just a single, goodness me, there's like a fly in my room, but it looks more like a bat. Doesn't really help having the window open at 9:45 at night, does it? But it's a beautiful night out there. Anyway, God, I do ramble sometimes. 10 deliveries left in the episode. That's a fantastic faced one from Collingwood there. We'll take 2. Is it Collingwood? No, it was Swanee. Was it Swanee? No, it was Collingwood. It's so tricky to tell between the player faces here. Another good shot from Collingwood. We'll try the 2. This is going to be fairly close. But again, we get away with 2. And we're doing well here. Collingwood hitting a few more to the offside today. Purely because spin gives a little bit more of an opportunity to play to that offside. Or rather, less of an opportunity to play to the leg side. So you're kind of forced in. But it's a ball straight to the fielder there. So 7 deliveries left in the episode. Collingwood might be facing his last one now, who knows. Hopefully not of the whole innings. We'll just try and take a sneaky one there. Get Collingwood back on strike, 'cause that's not his last delivery. Just took a sneaky one to get him back on strike for the next over. And we are just below 200. It'd be great to hit that before the end of the episode. And would you look? Oh, wow. Look at that. Well, this is interesting. Let's go for it. Oh, top edge. Great ball from Mitchell Johnson. They are giving a serious tempter out on the leg side. And I think they're being a bit muggish about that. Really do. Because you can just do that. I have absolutely no idea why Australia are doing that. All of the men to the offside, despite Paul Collingwood, 3/4 of his run hitting shots. Probably all his boundaries have been out there on the leg side. But the Aussies are all interested about the offside. And he keeps bowling bouncers, which means you've got enough time to do anything. And again, a brilliant shot. And we'll take the runs quite happily here. I don't know what the thinking is from the Australian captain. Or from Mitchell Johnson. I'm guessing with this field it's going to be a very short stint for Mitchell Johnson. But we'll take all we can get here. Goodness me, we will. Bit more of a fuller length, but still a medium length ball. Another no ball though, so we'll take that shot again. Not the best hit, but again, it's absolutely fine. We get a free run. Any opportunity to increase the run rate? I've got, again, absolutely no idea what they're doing. Another good shot. That fielder's way too far away, to be fair. He does get there this time. But we want Collingwood on strike for this over, just to take the most from it. But what's that? 11 from the over? Already? Well, a great over to finish us off here. But again, still very puzzled. What is he doing? Another no ball. And we'll take 4 quite happily. They're using more of an angle just to make sure it avoids the fielder. Is that... Oh, I didn't think it was going to go there. I didn't think it had got the legs. But another 4. Another no ball. So this is 16 off the over after Australia. For 14 overs with them spinners, they've kept it really tight. They've got a batsman, a bowler just there now. It's very crafty. A bowler, what am I on about? A fielder just there. But we beat him again. Not interested. We'll play it across the ground if we need to. Another 4. Yeah, they've kept it so tight with those 2 spinners. Probably about 4 and over. And all that this over is done is completely jeopardise that. They've got a little bit wiser to it, but I'd say it's too little too late. Oh, poor shot. And that's a little bit of a shame to end the episode. But goodness me, Collingwood really exploited that over. Got 20 off it. And after 43 overs, the controller's disconnected. We start as we mean to go on, I guess. But yeah, after 43 overs and this episode, we lead by 97 runs. So what's that? 96 off the episode. 20 of those coming in the last 2 minutes of the episode. And Collingwood now very close to his 100. So I'll be back on, let me think about this. I think it'll be Tuesday. But as I said, you will see in the channel update what days are confirmed for this series. But if you don't see that, I'm sure you'll see this series somewhere in the subscription box for yourselves. If you are subscribed, of course, which gives all the more reason to subscribe for more Ashes content. And it'll be all confirmed in that video that will probably come out on Tuesday. What is going on with the schedule of this series. But apart from that, thank you very much for your company. A very enjoyable episode. A very tight one until that last over again. Absolutely no idea what the Aussies were doing there. But we will take the runs as they come. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I've been CIJ Gaming. And until the next time, I will see you guys later on. Goodbye for now.